This American Idol judge doesn't like being a father. He loves it, and Simon Powell's son, Eric, has had a major transformation since arriving into the world on Valentine's Day 2014. It's no stretch to say Simon Cowell was thrilled to become a father. When his fiancée Lauren Silverman was still pregnant, Simon shared on BBC Breakfast that he couldn't wait for the baby to arrive. "Once I got used to it, I did get excited. I think I will be a good dad, so I'm excited now." However, when the subject of diaper duty came up, he was far less enthusiastic. "I wouldn't do that. 100% absolutely not going near that." Simon announced the birth of his son, Eric Cowell, on X, formerly known as Twitter. The reality TV star shared that his healthy and handsome child was born on February 14th, 2014. That same day, Simon also noted on Twitter that he named his firstborn after his father, who died in 1999. Powell's publicist told People, "What he is striving for is to build the same relationship with his son over the years. It's the whole family thing. He got a tremendous amount of comfort from the relationship he had with his mom and dad. They were very, very close." Settling down and getting married never seemed to be in the cards for Simon Cowell. Back in 2008, when he was still dating then-girlfriend, Terry Seymour, he told The Mirror, "I don't believe in marriage, certainly not in this business." After the birth of his son, he apparently had a change of heart. In 2021, Simon proposed to longtime girlfriend, Lauren Silverman, wanting to take the next step with Lauren after spending the pandemic lockdown as a family. Simon told ET, "Family is everything. And that is what I kind of took away from it." Heading to the altar meant that Simon would officially become a stepfather to Lauren's firstborn, Adam Silverman. Born in 2006, not much is known about Adam, but he appears to have a great relationship with Simon. In 2018, he supported him when he received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Becoming a parent completely changed Simon's life, especially with regards to burning the midnight oil. As he told The Sun in 2022, "Before Eric, my life was 99% work. I was obsessed with it." In the same interview, Simon revealed that he'd grown unhappy with his hectic work schedule. When Eric arrived, Simon overhauled his priorities. The talent judge learned to balance work-life and raising a child. He continued, "Now Eric is around. I don't work through the night anymore. If he hadn't come along, God knows what would have happened. The thought of it, I can't deal with that." On a 2019 episode of Lorraine, Simon noted that fatherhood has given him invaluable perspective. After saying that he's no longer bothered by the things that used to stress him out, he said,
"When you become a dad, something clicks in you, you know? It's all about them."
If there's one person who has noticed the shift in Simon, it's the winner of the first season of American Idol. On an episode of The Kelly Clarkson Show, Kelly Clarkson shared that she truly believed that becoming a father changed the former Idol judge for the better. "I think the vulnerable little side of you came out when you had a kid." In 2022, Simon told Extra that he cut back on smoking cigarettes thanks to his son. "He is really strict. I have to sneak behind the hedges and I'm having my 4 puffs, and I can see him following me around. I said to him the other day, 'Thanks to you,' I nearly quit." Keeping tabs on his father's smoking habits seemed to work. In 2023, Simon told The Mirror that his days of lighting up cigarettes are behind him. "I'm vaping, so I'm not quite out of the woods, but I don't smoke cigarettes. I have not had a cigarette in about 3 or 4 weeks." Simon's son also influenced him to stop using Botox. Evidently, there was one instance in particular where the injectable treatment's results upset Eric and made him unrecognizable even to his own kid. As the AGT star told The Sun in 2022, Eric was in hysterics. "Enough was enough. There is no filler in my face at all now." In 2023, Simon moved his family from the hustle and bustle of upscale London to a much quieter home in the English countryside. In July, a source told People, Simon moved into the home a few months ago and is really enjoying the freedom of country life. The source added that the reality TV veteran was pleased to live a much more anonymous life. Moving to a rural area, Simon saw his son in a new light. Speaking to Access Hollywood about how Eric likes to be outside, he shared,
He's kind of doing all the things I did as a kid, you know, where he's playing football outside, he's climbing trees, he's running.
Simon continued, "And that's what we have. We're in the countryside, so he gets to do tons of things outside. So I'm happy, and he loves it there." In February 2020, Simon announced on Instagram that he and Eric were publishing a children's book series, which he called Wish Fits. He wrote, "Wishfit is a world where the most unusual animals exist. The Wishfits are magical, unusual, and have evolved in a weird and wonderful way, combining two different species to form hybrid animals with very distinct characteristics." The animals were all Eric's idea, but Simon's busy work schedule and the pandemic delayed the series. Unfortunately for Eric's publishing aspirations, the series still hasn't come out as of 2024. Not only does Eric look like his dad, but he might just steal his job. In 2023, Eric joined his father on the red carpet of America's Got Talent Season 18, where he posed with the season's winner, Adrian Stoica, and his dog, Hurricane. In fact, Simon Powell told Access Hollywood that Eric, a big fan of the show, predicted the Border Collie would win the competition.
Eric, my son, was at the show last night. And I said to him this morning, "Who do you think is going to win?" He went, "Hurricane." I went,
"Oh, he
seriously?"
called it.
He really, really called it.
In the same interview, Simon shared that Eric began spending time with him on the Got Talent set at an early age. "Ever since he was a baby, he used to come to the shows with me, and I always thought, God, what happens if he doesn't like what I do? But he really loves this show. He gets invested. When we woke up this morning, it was the first thing we were talking about." Simon seemed to love the idea that Eric would take his place on the judging panel one day. Over on Instagram, he posted a sweet photo showing him, his son, and another boy at his AGT judging seat. In April 2024, he captioned the picture, "Meet the new judges of Got Talent 2033. If Eric doesn't see himself on the judging panel of America's Got Talent or Britain's Got Talent in a few years, fans of the hit competition show may see him as a contestant. As his dad told ET in 2023, he's set on trying out for the series. He's now decided he's going to do Britain's Got Talent. I think he wants to be in a rock band. He loves Green Day. Eric has taken up drumming, and according to Simon, he's a natural. Even so, Simon's not exactly itching to see his kid on BGT. That's going to be total torture. I mean, of all the things I've ever done, this will probably be the hardest because he does play drums. He's going to drum and sing. I went, oh God, no. Just weeks after his ET interview, Simon told People that he believes Eric shouldn't audition for any of the Got Talent programs. However, it's not because Simon thinks Eric doesn't have what it takes. It's quite the opposite, in fact. He's a good drummer. I mean, he's in time. He's in rhythm. I keep saying to him, if you're good, never come on the show. The longtime reality show judge also noted that if Eric were to compete on Got Talent, he would not join the youngster on stage. I actually don't have any performing talent whatsoever. I would just stand in the wings. More than a few A-list celebrities have said they will not be leaving their immense fortunes to their kids. And yes, a certain American Idol star is also on that list. Simon Cowell's reportedly worth somewhere around $600 million. But as far as he's concerned, that massive chunk of change won't be going to his son. Back in 2013, while Lauren was pregnant with Eric, Simon told Esquire, "I'm going to leave my money to somebody, a charity probably, kids and dogs. I don't believe in passing on from one generation to another. Your legacy has to be that hopefully you gave enough people an opportunity so that they could do well, and you gave them your time, taught them what you know." Of course, that's not to say Simon Cowell's son doesn't live a lavish life. Rather, it just sounds like his dad hopes he develops a strong work ethic and earns enough on his own so he doesn't have to rely on an inheritance. And while he might not be getting a huge inheritance, Eric is still living it up. When celebrating his birthdays, Simon and Lauren Silverman go all out. When Eric turned 3, the famous parents dished out an estimated £10,000 on a dinosaur-themed birthday at the Mandarin Oriental Hotel in London. Simon reportedly spent £30,000 for a The Greatest Showman-themed birthday extravaganza for his 5th birthday. Simon's parenting style has also been relatively lax regarding Eric's education. In a 2019 interview with NBC, the X Factor star admitted, "Listen, if I can get him out at 10 to come and work for me, then I would. I was better off out of school than I was in school, but I didn't have that major stress about homework because I would just throw it away. I am not saying behave like me, but at the same time, you have got to have a balance. A healthy, happy kid is more important than an overeducated, stressed kid." When Simon became a parent, it unlocked something in him on an emotional level. He told The Sun in 2022, "After I lost my mom and dad, you kind of think you're never going to feel that love again. That's it. Then you have kids, and thought I never thought I would feel that way. It's beyond your love for your parents. It almost hurts how much you love them." After feeling so much love and joy as Eric's father, Simon has toyed with the idea of expanding his family again. In April 2023, he shared with The Sun, "Just 2 days ago I was thinking, it would be nice to have another." But Simon clarified that he and Lauren Silverman did not have any plans to add to their family at that moment. The reality TV veteran also acknowledged to the outlet that he's wondered if Eric wishes he had a younger sibling. You never know with kids if they're happy being on their own, or how would he feel if there was another one. No matter what he and Silverman choose to do down the road, it sounds like Simon will be content no matter what. As he told The Sun, "I really like being a dad."